Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jason Zimmerman. Volunteers today helping out in Menasha as cleanup continues after Monday's devastating tornado. A massive organized effort just wrapping up an hour ago with people meeting up at the former UW-Oshkosh Fox Cities campus to remove debris across the community. Also this week, in a Menasha t-shirt shop raising tens of thousands of dollars for those who lost everything. As Mary Piacente reports, the business owner has a history of supporting others.
The print house here in Menasha is giving people a way to help their community, one t-shirt at a time. The screen printing shop is selling Menasha Strong t-shirts, with 100% of the sales going to local families that lost their home in Monday's tornado. The shirts are a new iteration of some printed earlier this year that raised thousands for Cimarron Bar and Grill after a fire. The shirts come in 5 colors and are available for pre-order for $20 each. And the print house has already sold 3,000, raising $40,000 to date, including donations. The print house owner Nick Siegel saying orders have come in from 22 states and counting. Support that means a lot to him as a Menasha native.
All of our family lives in Menasha, all of our friends live in Menasha. We know people who've lost their homes, their businesses. So this means a lot to us and our community to help give back as much as possible.
If you still want to show off that you're Menasha Strong, you can buy a t-shirt still. Just visit the print house's website or Facebook page or stop by their storefront on Main Street. Reporting in Menasha, Mary Piacente, Action 2 News.